Hello everyone. I'm going to talk about basic tools about jazz improvisation today. I'm going to try and teach you how to improvise with chord tones and approach tones. Today's focus on that. If you want to study more examples of the subject we talked about in this video, you can always download Jazz a Minute app, which is a jazz education app from the Apple App Store. You can find more examples, more music, more videos there. And you can even check out the backing tracks that I'm going to add to study all these examples. Again, the app is called Jazz a Minute, in short J.A.M or J.A.M, and you can download it from Apple Store, and I'm going to share a download link to the Apple Store. In the past, I'm sure you must have seen very different examples, suggestions of scales over some chords, play the scale over this chord. This is exactly what not we're going to do today. We're going to just focus on a bit older way of improvising. Older cats only work with chord tones and approach tones. Actually, this might seem a little bit limiting in the beginning, but it's not, I assure you. It may be more liberating than you think, because to be able to play all 7 notes of a mode or a scale sometimes is impossible because the chord changes too fast. We'll see some examples. I'm sure you must have seen how people do this or examples of it. Actually, Pat Metheny talked about it. A good improviser should be able to improvise with chord tones and approach tones. That's what he said. If you're working your substitutions inside the chord progression, it becomes even harder to change the scales that fast. So let's see if you're going to like what I'm here to offer. First of all, let's take a chord progression or just a chord, like just D minor. Chord tones of D minor are D, F, A, and C. Let's see if we can make music just with those. Alright, as you can see, it's possible to make music just with chord tones. A bit limiting, but now we're going to start mixing it up with some chromatic approach tones. So let's take a look at the second example. This involves a chromatic approach from below. You can approach a note by playing another note, like half step above or below the chord note, or even whole step, sometimes even combination, half-whole step combination. We're going to look at all of those. Let's look at another example. A 2-5-1 progression, D minor 7 chord tones, G7 chord tones, and chromatic approach tones. Here you go. You can apply the same thing from above too. So our next example is going to be another approach tone combination. It's called double chromatic approach. As I told you before, you can apply this from below or above or any kind of combination. That all works. 2 chromatic approach notes in sequence approaching to the target note. Okay, I tried to show you how to practice the double chromatic approach and making music with it in one example. Let's say you're learning a standard. You first master the chord progressions. 2 bars, 4 bars at a time. You master the chord progression. You know where arpeggios are. You practice them. And then you start playing with your arpeggios one by one. By playing, I mean adding approach tones and chord tones and try to make music with them. Now, we're going to move on to whole step from above, half step from below. This is a very popular combination that's used by almost every jazz master. Here's the example. What did we do? This time we added a triplet. And before the triplet, chord tones F, A, and C are 3rd, 5th, and the 7th degrees of D minor 7. But we added a G, which is whole step above from F, and an E natural, half step below F. Whole step, half step combination. Okay, here's another example. It's a 2-5-1 chord progression. Whole step, half step combination, and then you stay on the 11th for a while, and then you do from root to 7th of the chord, a chromatic approach, and then you do a partial arpeggio, and you end up with 3-1 in C major 7. Of course, we can use any of these techniques in any kind of chord progressions. Just to give you an example, I did a minor chord progression, minor 2-5-1 example. 4 chord tones, 4 approach tones from below, and 4 approach tones from above. So you can play any note, right? Because there are only 12 notes. So 4 chord tones, 4 from below, 4 from above, chromatic approach I'm talking about. It all boils down to 12 tones. Okay, so now that we know that, there's a way of doing things. That might be a bit bebop cliche, but cliches are where you learn the culture from. You have to know what everyone else did and study it, be able to comment on it, make it your own. Then from tradition, you can emerge your innovation if you have anything new to offer. But you have to be able to command what's done in the past, understand it, so that'll help you develop your own style, hopefully. You can combine the approach tones, like you can start with a double chromatic approach and then play a chord tone and then play another chord tone, and then you can do half step, whole step combination after it. Now I'll try to make examples of that. Okay, this is about the end of our lesson. I'm sure you can study it and make your examples of it. I mean, these examples are to teach how the technique is applied. So you have to understand what it is, how it's used, and try to do it on your own. This involves writing examples, but I would suggest maybe playing, just by playing. Just take one example like chromatic approach from below and try to make music with it. First, learn the arpeggio, learn it in your position, and try to apply the chromatic approach tone. See where it takes you. And don't forget to set your metronome on 2 and 4. It's going to click on 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to click on 2 and 4 for you to be able to feel the swing. Have a great day.